A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Beautiful sunshine out there. Very uncharacteristic for this time of the year. We'll talk about that a little bit more in just a moment. Currently 74 degrees at the airport, 75 here at Radio Center. Downtown Midland, 75. Downtown Bay City is at 74. We do have a south breeze, 12 miles per hour. Barometer is falling off, 29.84. There is a low-pressure system, which currently is situated over northern portions of Missouri. That low pressure is going to be moving its way up into southern Wisconsin over the next 24 hours. And that's going to present a little bit of a problem when it comes to precipitation here in the lower peninsula. Right now, it does appear as though the heaviest amount of precipitation is going to be along and west of 127. Those folks have just received one rain right after another. Not only are they wet, they are totally soaked. And in many areas where you have crops still in the field, ready for harvest, it's going to be a while before that harvest does take place. And it is a real shame for some of you that live out in that part of the lower peninsula. So we're keeping our fingers crossed. Hopefully we can get all of this to stop. Unfortunately, we're going to have another system that will be rearing up its ugly head as we approach the tail end of the week. We'll see the likelihood of that as we go through our long-range forecast, short-range, long-range, in just a moment. We mentioned about how mild it is, and we're going to hit 80 degrees today. If we don't hit 80, we're going to hit 82. It is just going to be flat out a summer day with a low tonight of 69. Those temperatures are actually above average for the tail end of June. Normal high for this time of the year in June is about 82 in the afternoon and 62 at night. So that just gives you an idea. And then to add insult to injury, the low temperature tonight is going to be our high temperature tomorrow. We're going to be a good 10 to 12 degrees cooler tomorrow than what we will be today, but we're still going to be about 7 degrees above average. And our nighttime low tomorrow night is going to be right around 59, 60 degrees. So we're talking a good 15 to 18 degrees above average for our evening. And then Wednesday, we're looking for a high temperature of 72 and a low of 63. So it's just not letting off. We will have a cool down as we move into the weekend. But then as we continue into the work week next week, we are going to be looking at those temperatures at or above average for this time of the year, and that is just simply going to continue. Now, how warm has it been? Well, this time of the year, we usually begin to take a look at cooling degrees in terms of how many units, how many degrees it is where we would need the furnace to kick on, I guess basically is what it. And starting September the 1st up until, let's say, this past weekend, we should be looking at basically, on average, 266 cooling degrees where we do need the furnace to kick on. So far this year, now remember, average is 266. Last year, we were at 299. So we did have some chilly days. This year, we're only at 70. So that's a good 83% less or above where or less, I should say, where we should be this time of the year. 70 compared to 266 is where we should be. Yes, this does put us into a rather unique category. And for the most part, we are looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 years plus since we've seen this warm of a fall from the 1st of September till roughly the 10th of October. And the heat units, we're going to continue to see those. The cooling units, we're not going to. So we pretty much covered our temperatures, what we're anticipating for the next few days. What we're looking at as far as rain is concerned is the best chance of rain, as I indicated before, will be along and west of the 127 corridor. For us, we will be in the scattered shower area. I think what's going to be happening is the low pressure system is going to be moving into southern Wisconsin tonight, and then it'll be crossing the straits during the day tomorrow. So that will tend to warm us up a little bit as we move into tomorrow night. Whatever scattered shower activity we see in the Great Lakes Bay region will taper off in the morning hours tomorrow morning. Sun as the day goes, but still mostly cloudy, I think, tomorrow. Sun as the day goes on Wednesday. A low pressure system over South Dakota on Wednesday is going to catch our eye because that is going to be a pretty deep low pressure system. The barometer is really going to drop on this one. There is going to be a lot of turbulence, counterclockwise movement, but it does appear as though that low is going to be moving in a northeasterly direction as well. So we will be on the warm side of it. And I really don't think, other than Wednesday night, we're going to see much of a chance of any precipitation. And right now, the precipitation pattern for Wednesday appears to be after midnight on Wednesday night and real early on Thursday morning, not lingering much at all. On Friday, we're going to have another system affecting our weather. This one is going to be south of Michigan. So we'll be on the cooler side of that system. And as a result, once it moves through, and again, the chances of showers right now look to me to be quite scattered. On Saturday and Sunday, our temperatures will actually be below normal, right around 60, maybe 58, 59. But our nighttime lows, they're still going to be about 45, 46 degrees. So it's not going to be that cold. And then moving into the work week next week, once again, temperatures will begin to rev up a little bit. Record high in the state is 85. That was set in 1928. We're going to come close, but I don't think we're going to hit it. The record low on this state, 25, set in 1964. And that's good for at least another year. Sun will set this evening at 6:59. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 7:47. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Look at the markets in a moment. But first of all, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Michigan corn growers want to remind you that registration is now open for the 8th annual Great Lakes Crop Summit. That'll be at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort in Mount Pleasant on January the 26th and the 27th. You've got a little bit to go, but if you're thinking about it and you have a chance to do it, go ahead and reserve right now. The deadline to reserve hotel rooms and receive early registration price is right after the first of the year, Tuesday, January the 7th. Featured speakers, they got a bunch of them. A really good program lined up. Again, Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort in Mount Pleasant, January 26th and 27th. It's the return of the Great Lakes Crop Summit. We say good morning to Gary Kaufman at Star of the West. Gary, what's going on today?
Well, the wheat and corn markets are fairly quiet. Soybeans seen a little bit of volatility, been up 8, down 9, and maybe some position squaring left to do yet for the report tomorrow, but pretty quiet. Currently, cash wheat, Terry, is, let's call it unchanged at $6.99 on the white, $6.64 on the red. New crop for next year, also unchanged at $7.33 on the white, $6.73 on the red. cash and current crop corn is up 2 at 483, and the cash and current crop soybeans, let's call it down 9, Terry, at 1174.
Yeah, you mentioned that report. Any numbers that we're going to be watching here pretty close?
Yeah, basically on the report for corn tomorrow, basically we don't expect a lot of change there, Terry. We're calling for about a 1.4 billion bushel carryout left. Maybe a slight reduction in yield, about 175.9, whereas September was 176.3. So production overall slightly less, but we're expecting a pretty neutral report on corn. Soybeans, our September 30th report was a shocker on beans. We had about a 256 million bushel change in the stocks number, and the bearish consequences of that report will be seen again tomorrow, where the survey of analysts are expected to increase the ending stocks, from last September on this report to up to the 289 million bushel. So the USDA will update the crop estimate, and they're expecting a little bit higher, about 4.4 billion, as harvest conditions have been favorable so far. So we're expecting a slight increase in yield. On the wheat front tomorrow, we're going to watch probably the world stocks carry out. The U.S. stocks are expected to go down again, from 615 million bushel, Terry, to about 581, and that'll be the lowest U.S. wheat stock since 07-08. So winter wheat conditions look favorable in Europe. Western Russia is dry. Crops in Argentina could use some more range, but fundamentally, the U.S. wheat supplies are low, and that should keep prices well supported as we head into early next year. So
I guess the biggest challenge is going to be transportation. Moving product from one location to another.
Yeah, freight has become a major issue, not only in our agricultural world, but in the country as well. And it doesn't matter what you look at, freight is an issue for sure. So,
and the expense of that freight.
That too. So, yep, exactly.
Yeah. Gary, you take care. Have a good one.
I will. You do the same.
You betcha. Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. We're going to take a quick look at what's growing in the front yard and the backyard with Jerry Samolsky. He comes along in a moment.
Hi, Deb. Another weekend, more youth baseball. Where's Jerry?
He wanted to come, but he's busy battling brown beet fields.
Cercospora?
Yeah, he went out to spray again. Is your crew spraying?
Just a few times. It's a sea of green this year.
You're kidding.
No, we tried that new CR Plus trait developed by KWS, and it's like night and day.
Really? Wow. You should text Jerry. He needs a new plan.
Maybe I'll just send some pics from the game. He'll get the message. KWS CR Plus trait is licensed to Beta Seed and Crystal Brand Seed.
It's time to think about your pig. You know, the propane tank in your backyard that heats your home? Well, there's no better company to fill your pig than Forward Energy, covering 23 counties. Forward Energy is a family-owned and operated propane supplier that's been fueling area homes, farms, and businesses since 1925. Fill your pig this year. Visit forwardenergy.com to find out about new customer pricing and programs.
Go forward with Forward Energy.
There's a lot of confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID, with guidelines and regulations changing by the week. You need an accurate thermometer for your family to check for fever, the leading sign of flu and COVID. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no scientific studies behind them and can miss the fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Farm Service is brought to you today by the folks at Schaefer and Beerline. They are the Great Lakes Bay Area's certified ag dealer. You can make a new Ram commercial truck or van a part of your everyday use for family, farm, and business today during Ram Ag season going on right now at Schaefer and Beerline. Since 1852, where family and service sells cars. Market Report has been brought to you as well by the folks at Kryzak's House Family Restaurant. If you're responsible for a meal at an upcoming event, Not a problem. 989-894-5531 is the number. And oh, yeah, by the way, they're a great place to dine in as well. Krizak's House Family Restaurant, corner of Cass and Michigan on Bay City's south side. We say good morning to Jerry Samolsky. Jerry, this unusually mild weather has it's created a few interesting things here so far this fall that normally we don't have to contend with.
Well, Terry, I can tell you I'm seeing mushrooms out and about like I've never seen before. This warmer temperatures and plenty of moisture is causing mushrooms to pop up all over. And people are like, what do I do? Well, again, fungal diseases are really, really a factor of condition. So when the conditions are right, you can have greater outbreaks. First, you have to have susceptible areas, then you get the correct weather, and then you get an outbreak. So we're seeing mushrooms in lawn. Just left a project that the mushrooms in the mulch are like almost ground cover. So I mean, it is crazy this year with everything we're going in this nice warm weather that we're having.
I've never seen mushrooms as large as what I've seen this year on some areas, and I don't mean a bunch of them all together. Actual plant itself. Some of these mushrooms are huge.
I think it's both, Terry, again, because I don't want to say the perfect storm or what have you, but it's ideal conditions for mushrooms.
Yeah. Now, if they were just edible, we'd have a whole meal.
Well, and I would say, first of all, that we probably shouldn't even mention edible because I am not a mushroom guy. I don't know what is edible and what is not edible. So please don't eat those unless you're an expert, please.
I know what's edible when it's in the frying pan.
Yeah, when it comes out of the grocery store, that's what I trust.
You got it. But I'll tell you, there are some folks that have they go mushroom hunting, and boy, those they know how to pick them. They are really, really good. Very good.
That's an art and science of its own, Terry.
Yes, it is, and I'll trust them. You take care, Jerry. Have a good day, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville.
Why do I plant NK seeds? Because every seed's an investment, and I don't gamble on my farm. Out here, every seed's got to earn its acre. That's why I need corn and soybeans that deliver the results I expect. And it's why I always make room for elite performers from NK, because every investment owes me a return, and success matters. Find your local NK retailer at nkseeds.com/retailer.
Experience the most reliable RTK signal from PC Ag Solutions, compatible with most GPS receivers. Trade in your old radio or modem and get an affordable subscription through us. We have over 25 base station locations across the Lower Peninsula, and we're always looking to add more to our network. Discover more power, more accuracy, and more coverage with our 450 megahertz signal. Call us to learn more today. PC Ag Solutions, 989-868-4444. For some of you, you are feeling the pain about paying for college. Tax strategies as far as saving and paying for college. Let's get a little bit more on this. Eric Sawatsky with Yo and Yo Accounting joining me. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning. How are you, Terry?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic. Give us some clues here. Help us out a little bit, okay?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people that are planning on saving for college or already in with kids in college know what a 529 plan is. It's a tax advantaged savings plan where essentially you get to put money in the account over the years and it grows tax free as long as you take that out for education. So that's a good vehicle to use. Some also use the Roth IRA. Once you have a Roth IRA open for 5 years and have money in that account, you can take the principal back out without paying tax on it. So that could also be a vehicle that's used personally. I would just be careful that you're not rating assets you were setting aside for retirement just to pay for college. But I wanted to highlight a couple other things today. If you are a self-employed business, there are additional things that you could do to help, I guess, create funds and ways to pay for college. One, if you have children that are old enough to do some work for the business, even if it's janitorial work or office work, things like that, employing your child in the business and paying them a wage, one will shelter some tax because they'll be paying tax on those wages at a lower rate than you would or the business would. Also, if they have earnings during that year, they could put money from their own earnings into a Roth IRA, which grows tax-free. And again, they could access for college if needed. And then there's a couple code sections in the IRS code that allow additional funds that a business could supply. So one is called the Section 127 plan. With that plan, a business can pay up to $5,250 a year towards college expenses for any employee. There are some limitations on that. The employee has to be 21 years of age or older, and generally it can't be just the direct relative if it's a solely owned business. So there are a couple hoops to jump through there, but the advantage there is the business gets to deduct that cost, and the employee doesn't pay tax on it. So it's a double bonus there.
Very good. Eric, for more information, we can get a hold of you on this. How do we do that?
You can reach me at 989-793-9830 or go to our website, yoandyo.com.
Very good. Eric Sawatsky, you take care. Have a great day, okay?
You too, Terry.
I will. Eric Sawatsky at Yo and Yo. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Hilleshog Seeds. We'll have more on them at our report at the bottom of the hour next hour at 12:30. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM,